Hello, let's talk about five-sided dice, the D5. I would like to talk about the version which is a triangle prism. This version resulted a lot of discussions in mathematics because is it fair or not? What does it mean fair? Fair dice is when each side has equal chance to be selected. How can this work? Well, imagine the triangle prism which is very thin, like a coin. Right? It will always land on one of the triangle sides. Now imagine triangle prism, which is very long. It will land on one of the rectangle sides almost every time. And somewhere between these two is the theoretically fair dice, where the triangle sides have each chance to get selected like the rectangle sides. There are several commercially available five-sided dice, like this one or this one. This one has even a patent where it's not the best because they try to find the dimensions, but some dimensions are missing. But it's a good attempt because they try to define the throwing method and also the surface where they use the dice. I try to measure from the pictures the dimensions of the dice, and I noticed that if I build a triangle prism which is base of 20 millimeter, then somewhere between 12 and 14 millimeters is the fair five-sided die. So I built a small Excel table where I was throwing first the 12 millimeter version. You can see the results now. In 45%, the triangle side was selected. That's too much. This means we need a longer triangular prism, and that's why I built the 14 millimeter version and do the same test. Let's see the results. As you can see, in this version, the triangle side was selected in 30%. This means that our fair dice, theoretical fair dice, is between 12 and 14 millimeters, but near the 12 millimeter. So my final version is 12.5 millimeters, and these are my design steps in Fusion 360. As you can see, the base is 20 millimeters, the length is 12.5 millimeters. I chamfer the edges. Where they are sharp edges, they are value of 1.5 millimeters, and the 90 degrees edges were cut in 1 millimeter length. This is very easy to print. And this is how it looks like after the printing. I colored the whole numbers with the permanent marker, and this is the final looks. And now let's see the final statistic and test with this version, and this time for each number. As you can see, it is not 100% fair die, but it cannot use in casinos. But to playing with your family, it is good, especially if everybody using the same die. If you want a real fair die, then you should use something like this. It is pentagonal prism where these base sided are a little bit rounded, so to avoid to land on this. This means this die will land on one of their sides. There is no opposite side of the selected surface, so that's why I cut this surface in the edge, and there is the number. This is very easy to print. I want to fix the first layer edge. And this is how it looked like after the coloring the holes with the permanent marker. Well, that would be it. So the conclusions: the triangle prism based die cannot be completely fair in theoretically, because it depends on the physics, depend on the throwing method, depend on the surface variable you use. If you want a real five-sided fair die, then you can use a pentagonal prism where the base of the prism are excluded. Thank you for watching, and follow me to my next video where I will talk about D7, the 7-sided die. The problem is similar like with this one. I hope I'll see you there. Bye.